And now let's go to Adam Housley, who is live at the scene with the very latest. Adam, what's going on now?
Yeah, Heather, there's a chance that some of these surrounding apartments, people might be allowed back in later on this evening. That's the idea, at least, but it could still be pushed into tomorrow. The good news so far is they have made significant headway. There's still, though, some significant danger inside that apartment. In fact, I'm going to step away, give you a live look right now. You can see the cherry picker that comes from the firefighter, the ladder truck, basically, that's still here in position, has been all morning. There are technicians and the robots, as you heard, inside. Now, they did give us some good information about the danger that existed and still exists, about how someone had opened up that front door, whether it be a police officer, as the police chief asserts, or whether it had been that neighbor, as we heard this morning with an interview with John Scott. Whoever did open up that door would have faced a likely serious outcome from the booby trap that was set up, the booby traps that were set up throughout that apartment. Now, there's a couple of things that happened today to help alleviate some of that threat and help bomb technicians and these robots get inside. It's called an assessment team. And the first thing I want to show you is that explosion, the loudest of the three we've heard so far. Take a listen. Horns before these explosions should be coming here any moment. About a 10-15 second difference between them. We were warned from 3 horns, and the loudest of the explosions came. That explosion right there was a water bomb, we're told, basically. That's what they call it. It's a layman term. But basically what it did was it's a water explosion, a water device put inside to disarm a circuit board that was in the kitchen. That's what we were told, a circuit board that was in the kitchen that basically connected to everything. Now, we were told there were 30 bombs inside. No, there were more than that. There were 30 different homemade hand grenade type devices inside. There were also bottles that were set to explode, as well as other chemicals that were set to mix together and cause fire. When you talk to federal agents off camera, they'll tell you, while there was some danger with these very makeshift bombs, the real danger was if this had gone off, they believe the entire complex would have burned to the ground, because there was a lot of devices. There were a lot of devices and things that could burn in there, incendiary devices. And they said the setup was very intricate, but the bombs themselves were very amateur. And what they're doing right now is going through, they're taking out, you'll see some ATF, in fact, you can see the ATF agent through some of those bushes over there. The ATF's going in with the FBI. They're bringing out the pieces of evidence from each one of these devices they're finding. They're testing it under a tent. And we have some other video we shot a little earlier as they were doing that very early on, before the last explosion, in fact, where they were bringing out some of the stuff they were getting from these devices. They were testing it to see how explosive, how dangerous, and then they would determine what to do. So what they're doing is they're going through the rest of the apartment, ensuring there are no more tripwires, no more circuit boards. The idea with these bombs isn't to explode the ordnance there, it's to disarm the technical part that would make it explode, if that makes sense. So once they go through and really dissect all that stuff out, they're going to bring in dump trucks, and they're going to remove all the powder, remove all these devices, the bottles of liquid, and the makeshift grenades. They're going to bring them all out, put them in the dump truck, and drive out to the east part of town, where they'll dump them out, and then they'll either explode them on their own, or they'll dump diesel on them and burn them. So everything inside that apartment will come out that is one of these devices. Once that's done, then they'll allow the people in that apartment specifically, this apartment complex specifically, to go home. So that may be a couple of days, guys, because there still is a threat specifically inside his apartment.